This morning, let me cut my theme music down so we can get serious. And so with that, I want to say good morning to our wonderful guests. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, pastors. Introduce yourself. I'll start ladies first. We're gentlemen here. At least I try to pretend to be one. Go ahead.
I'm Pastor Therese Bill, Assistant Pastor of the Greater Destiny Bible Church.
All right, I like that. Good to see you again as always.
Good to see you.
And who is this lovely gentleman next to you?
Apostle Kelly B. Williams, pastor, senior pastor of Greater Destiny Bible Church.
Okay. Well, first of all, great to have you here. And you and I were talking. It does seem like it hasn't been a year. It seems like we saw each other a couple months ago, but it probably has been a year. You all, I'm assuming, have been very busy. This is the time of the year where you really get out into the community, among other things. So if you don't mind, kind of let's start off and tell us about the Wow Fest. What is it?
Well, the Wow Fest, as you guys know, this is 18 years in counting.
Yeah.
It started off as a little church picnic
I remember
after church.
Yeah.
We gave away a few book bags to kids that were in the park, and it blossomed into something that was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We used to have it at the top park there in East Chicago on McShane.
Yeah.
And it was one of the largest fests pre-COVID that our city hosted.
Wow.
So, you know, we've been doing this for 18 years, and Wow Fest is not the only thing we do.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that we do, and it's always been my vision and my passion for our members of our church to understand that church is family.
Yeah.
And church is community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the two of the things that we really push within our ministry is the importance of family and the importance of community. And
Yeah.
so we have a bunch of community initiatives
Yeah.
that we do, and I think we do them quite well. And you know, my grandfather used to tell me something when we would go fishing, and he said, "Grandson, if you see a turtle on a stump, know somebody helped to get there." And I am nowhere where I am without a village of people that believe in the vision and make
Right.
it happen. Even so much so that so much goes on that I don't know everything that we do.
You really
But
don't.
I have this capable woman of God here who's come on in our ministry 3-4 years ago, and she's given us organization, she's given us vision, and she's really taken the vision to the next level. And she's one of my childhood friends. She and I went to kindergarten together.
Oh my
Went
goodness.
to grade school together.
Yeah.
We've been knowing each other over 40
years.
Yeah.
over 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and true friendship. Never argued, never fallen out with one another. Always,
Man, I might
Always,
need to bring you as my friend. You're
yeah.
a very easy friend to have, ain't
yeah,
aren't you?
very good friend, confidant, and someone that I love and care for deeply. Just a very, when you look up the word friend, that's Pastor Therese.
Oh man, you can listen to me. I mean, we're supposed to talk about the Wow Fest, not my goosebumps that you're giving me. That was a very beautiful description.
When you talk about Wow Fest, you have to talk about the people that make it happen.
Yeah.
And she is one of the people that make it happen. She's taken over the leadership of it. She didn't start 2 weeks ago.
Right.
She started last year in September,
Wow.
laying the groundwork for what we wanted to happen. And you know, one of the principles that we teach is always that there can never be presentation without preparation.
Ah.
You know, a lot of times we expect something to happen,
Yeah.
and it's not going to happen unless you prepare. You know, Israelites, 40 years of preparation in the wilderness.
Right.
Then God presents them to Canaan, promised land.
Yeah.
So wherever there's preparation, there's always presentation.
I like that.
You know, and even with my sermons and when we preach, you know, you may have heard some not so good sermons, but I can tell you that a not so good sermon is tied to preparation.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Well, as with anything worth doing, you got to prepare for it.
That's me and God's deal.
Yeah.
Preparation.
Yeah.
I do the preparation. You do the presentation.
I like it.
And that's what you're going to see when you come out of Lake Park on that Sunday. Is about 10, 11 months of preparation.
Yeah.
And we need the people to come out
All
to
right.
support. In Gary, Hammond, East Chicago, we're not prejudicial about anything. We want kids that have needs. All of the services are going to be there for them in the park on that day. And we're going to love on them. We're going to empower them. We're going to inspire them through ministry and through gospel music.
Right.
We're going to touch them. She's going to pass it.
Yeah, I will get back to that because I want to ask you about the genesis of Wow Fest and kind of how it came about and how it's grown. But young lady, if you don't mind, Pastor, just go ahead and kind of tell us about, first of all, if you don't mind, tell us how you kind of came to be a part of this. Where'd you come from? Was it COVID? And I have to know the origin story.
Apostle Kelly and I have been friends, like he said, for
Yeah.
over 40 years.
What
And
school did you go to?
I went to EC Central
Okay.
in East Chicago.
Okay. For kindergarten? No.
Franklin
No,
Fly.
There you go. You got to
Franklin.
give a shout out to elementary
Franklin
schools too,
Elementary.
not just high schools. Go ahead.
Yep, and so we had a fellowship. Our churches were fellowship together, and so when they closed my church down here in Gary, myself and my family, we joined up with Greater Destiny.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I just joined and just started working, and
Did you know he was there when your family kind of joined, or was it one of those situations where you're going
Yes.
fellowship? Like, oh my God, look who's here.
yes, I had been fellowshipping with,
Okay.
with Greater Destiny
Yeah.
prior to joining.
Okay,
so
that's kind of how you put them on the radar because you had
Yes.
already done your homework, and so you
Yes.
knew where you wanted to go for your new spiritual home.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
And then you run into him, and now you're getting involved.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And so how was this presented to you about the Wow Fest? As you just heard Pastor speak, this is something that they've been growing systemically for 18 years. And so obviously when you came into it, they had pretty much been established, but there was still obviously room for improvement, room for growth. And so how did you kind of come on to this?
He asked me would I be a part of the committee.
Yeah.
And so I hopped on the committee, and then it turned into being over it.
That's how it starts. You
Yeah.
come in, I just need you to come to me. Just be part of it. Yeah, just to be a part of it. Next thing you know, you're running the whole darn shooting match.
Yes.
And so when you kind of came into it, and obviously, as I said, you knew, and being a part of the community, you knew what the aim was, and what the goal was, and what they had done. What was it that you saw when you came in, and what were some of the things that you said maybe we can add to, and what I would love to kind of suggest we bring?
I discussed adding on more health information.
Yes, yeah.
Especially after COVID.
Yeah.
About health insurance.
Yeah.
Doctors.
Navigating the health,
Nonprofit,
right?
Nonprofit organizations coming aboard, and just the whole project as a whole.
Yeah, yeah. And so now, how many years? I guess you joined. What year was this? Right after? Well, he said last year, right? Correct? Or when did you join the
No, it
program?
was probably year 15.
Yeah. So right
14,
after
15.
COVID.
Yes.
Okay, right after COVID. So
Mhm.
you kind of, as you said, the situation with COVID made all of us take a good hard look in the mirror, and in particular in certain communities, and realize, oh my God, we're underserved, and more importantly, we're underinformed because we can't navigate these resources. A lot of people always tell us that they're here, but sometimes we don't even know what we're looking at, and so that's kind of what you all, or what you kind of suggested we do. I want to get back to you. And let's talk. I want to, because I remember us kind of going down this road and talking about it before. But tell me where it came from. How did you, it started off as a backpack giveaway or some kind of simple, and then you realized there was such a need in the community, and people were actually coming together on your platform, and you were like, this thing can grow, and it does have more significant purpose than maybe I thought at the beginning.
Yeah, needs necessitate anointing.
Yeah.
And whenever there's a need, there's a call for anointing.
Yeah.
And
I like you and your catchphrases. I can just keep you in my back pocket. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
And it's just that the need was there. It was displayed, and then we said, you know what? There's no real. There are a lot of organizations that are giving out book bags.
Right,
Book bags.
right.
But we want to do a little bit more. We want to. At that time, we couldn't pray in schools,
Mm-hmm.
and so we prayed around the schools, and we would march literally around every school 7 times and pray.
Oh, that was you.
They said you can't come in. We'll pray around the schools then, and so then that necessitated the need to make an impact to the kids. So
You're a
if we
pretty
can't-
provocative preacher, aren't you? Yeah.
I
Go
just do the
ahead.
best I
I
can.
know. I like it. But I mean, you're right in my wheelhouse. I love this. Go ahead, please.
And then once we start praying around the schools, God starts speaking to us about things that we could do. Okay, let's start praying over these book bags,
Yeah.
anointed with oil,
Yeah.
and send the kids to school with the book bags, anointed book bags.
Yeah.
And we just believe that, my dad always taught me growing up. He said, son, turn obstacles into opportunities.
Yeah.
Life is how you perceive it. And if you perceive something negatively, then it'll be negative. But
Yeah.
if you perceive it as an opportunity to overcome something, then it can become something that is eternal. And so, you know, this fest, it puts itself on.
Yeah.
You know, it's the community, it's a benchmark. Many of our sponsors, we're not reaching out to them, they're reaching out to us.
Of
because
course.
when they come out there, they see how we're impacting the community. We're putting on a top-notch class gospel fest.
Yeah. You do
know,
every year.
Yeah, and it's all done in the spirit of excellence.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a firm believer is if we wouldn't want it for ourselves, then why would we want it for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know, and so we've done that touch on everything. You know, giving people their dignity. Don't make people feel like they're less than. When they come out to that park,
They're
one
family.
thing we always tell them, our volunteers in their training, you know, we weed out our volunteers because we don't want you coming for what you can get.
Right.
You know, 'cause
right.
a lot of times people volunteer because they want to take from what
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
doing. You know,
I'm gonna leave here with my own book bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave with 10 book bags.
Yeah.
And I don't even allow our church members to get them.
Yeah. No, I mean,
because I tell them charity starts at home.
Yeah.
If you need a book bag, you let me know, and the church, your church family, will in turn get those. But that day is simply give back everything. There's no. So if you, as long as it's something that's not, you know, just not
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
extravagant, we're gonna do our best to make sure. Even if we can't do it, we're gonna tie you to some services to make it happen.
Let me tell you something, and I don't want to kind of, maybe I'd love to, you and I get together in the future and really have a conversation about this, because you really have kind of intrigued me and sparked my curiosity, because I do think you're a very provocative person, and that's my word I'm using. I don't know if it's really provocative because it's the right thing to do, but I like when you kind of describe about, you know, we couldn't necessarily go into churches and pray and things like that. Now, you know, one of the things that I think people in you all's business, you all are on the front lines. You see the problems and you see the symptoms of the problems, and I think anybody worth a grain of salt who sees symptoms are usually trying to find out what's causing the problem.
Yes.
And, you know, we can debate and we can talk about that. That may be for some other time, but I just want to kind of speak to something that you talked about that I think is absolutely amazing. And I hope I'm not revealing your secret strategy. But when you talked about the book bags, and immediately when you started talking about anointing the book bags and things like that, first thing that came to my mind was the story of the Trojan horse. And so those book bags are great ways into these homes. You know, it starts off, as you said, with the anointing of the book bag. Then maybe it could be putting some content in the book bag. A book here, a book there, maybe some pamphlets, maybe some literature, maybe some information. And just slowly kind of building and, you know, working your way into those households without necessarily coming through the front door. Because sometimes people might put up their guards or what have you, but it's a great way. I just kind of, when you told me about that, I was like, you know what? That is very cool that you put some positivity on those book bags, and so the parents who are out here, the guardians who are picking these up, giving them to the young people getting them up, strapping them on their backs, going wherever it is they go, they are carrying around them an anointed piece of property that has been prayed over, has been blessed, and is all good for them, whether they know it or not. I think that's absolutely cool. And, you know, I know I don't want to put it out there.
Don't mess with my recipe.
I'm not stealing anything.
No. But I do want to say something about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is that one of the key marks of my personal ministry has always been honor.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Zion Missionary Baptist Church.
Ah.
Pastor Reverend Dr. J.C. Wade Jr. was my pastor and still is my pastor.
Okay.
And we honor him once a year. He has a day at our church, and we just sit back and honor him because I've learned the power of honor. The Trojan horse was honor.
Yes.
They gave him a gift.
Yeah.
And the gift became something that could break down strongholds.
Yeah.
So I believe in honor. I believe in honoring leadership. Honor, I believe, is one of the greatest tools that God. Matter of fact, honor is the first commandment with promise.
Mm-hmm.
Honor thy father and thy mother. And I think that's one of the ills that we see happening in this world today.
Yeah.
We see so much death, so much destruction, so much chaos. It is because there's no honor in
There's
the
no
world.
honor.
We don't honor pastors.
No.
We don't honor preachers.
No.
We don't honor people in leadership.
Authority.
We don't honor any authority.
No.
And if there's something that we got to get back to, and that's why everything that we do, and Pastor Bibbs can attest to this, everything that we do, we always have a touch of honor. We're going to be honoring some people there that day at the fest.
Yeah.
People that are doing good community work.
Right.
They may not be doing something, substantial, but it's
It's
meaningful.
substantial in their
It's
own way.
making
Yes,
an impact. And so their names they may not have 20,000 followers on Facebook.
Right.
But they're doing something. These kids need everything that we can give them.
Yes.
And if a book bag will give them a single mom relief.
Right.
If getting their haircuts on that day will give them some relief.
Yeah, make them feel better about
braiding
themselves.
a young lady's hair will make her feel better about coming to school on the first day, then we want to provide those services. We want to honor them.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to feel like they're less than. We have a multitude of barbers, so we don't just have black barbers. We also have some Hispanic barbers that are going to be coming on this year.
Look at you.
Because there's more than one type of hair that's going to come out of that
Oh,
park.
absolutely.
So we open the floodgates to say whosoever will, let them come.
I like
and so
that.
we need everybody to have a big mouth. If there was something negative going on, everybody would be telling somebody. I need everybody hit the streets.
Yeah.
Let's pack that park out. There's Joyce Park over behind Amira Star Casino.
Oh my God, yeah.
You can come with your bathing suit on.
It looks great
You
over
can
there,
bring
by the
your-
way.
Oh man, it's one of the top-notch
It,
beaches.
it is. Listen, and
But I mean, Gary is doing too bad. I rolled through Gary the other day.
I know how to give compliments and I know how to receive them, and I'm not, I'm a homer, obviously, but I really do. I say it to your mayor. I say it to people that like yourself that are over there. You all really have used your investment wisely, and the community benefits from it because I've run into more and more people from East Chicago from the past 10 years that are really now walking around feeling very good about their hometown. And it's not just the aesthetics of the park. It's because of things like, it starts there, and then when people like yourself and other organizations who have an origin in that city, when people see you embracing the community and utilizing it, then they come out and they look around and be like, you know what, this isn't bad at all. Look
Success
at
has a look.
It has a look.
It matters how things look. Aesthetics mean.
Yeah.
When Joseph was when he was called out of the prison to go into Pharaoh's house, he shaved himself. He cleaned himself up. He didn't just go in there looking like a ragamuffin.
No, I had to clean up that body hair.
Success. I can't go in and look at any kind of way.
Right.
And I think that to change a culture, that's where it begins. Appearance. And our mayor, he changed the entire culture.
Yeah.
In our city, with picking up trash.
He did. He did.
He gave people personal responsibility to make sure that they were
This is
responsible
your town, too.
for their own city.
Yeah.
And I think that when you give people personal responsibility, that empowers them.
Yeah.
When you give people that power,
I think you're right on the money.
That make the most impact to you are the things that you've done.
Yes.
Not the things that others have done for you.
No.
You teach, you give a child a fish, they eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, that'll impact them for an entire life because they'll learn their own personal responsibility. And that's what's crucial. And that's why I give kudos not only to my Mayor Anthony Copeland and his team, but man, Eddie Melton and the team and the citizens and in the circle of people that are taking on personal responsibility. There are a lot of us in the region that are watching this like phoenix of Gary coming up from the ashes. And I'm excited.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
excited for you all and to see what's happening and anything I can do to help, I want to be a part of.
All right, we'll keep that phone open. No, but I want to go to Pastor Bibbs, but to your point, I think a great example, I'll use it real quick, is like, for instance, during the summers. And I know we have summer workers that work with my wife and myself, but I remember when I was a little kid, they used to have a program called Manpower. And it was summer employment for youth. Now, the obvious thing, obviously, is to give youth opportunity to make a little money and keep them busy. But there was a psychology behind it that people believed in, and that is that typically when you've got these 14, 15, 16-year-old teenagers that during the day are out there in the sun picking up trash, cutting weeds and things like that, what's going to happen on the weekends when they're out with their friends and that friend is trying to throw a McDonald's thing out? It's like, hey man, I had to pick this up. They're going to start to govern and police themselves. And as you just talked about, as both of you have alluded to, there's an investment. It sounds so minute and simple, but it really is an investment that kind of spills over into now you've got adults, the young adults that they're not littering, not throwing trash around, and it just kind of snowballs. It's a snowball effect. So you're hitting it on the head, and I appreciate you saying that. Let's go to you, Pastor Bibbs, because as I said, I don't want to forget you. You're so integral to the process. Tell me a little bit about the Wow Fest, because one of the things I appreciate you, and also I think sometimes those of us who don't really get to see how the sausage is made don't appreciate the challenges sometimes, because when you do go out here and you do these very noble gestures, book bags, sometimes you're providing after school programs, or maybe you're providing lunches and feeding kids, is that usually word gets around and it expands, and now you find yourself being overwhelmed with people who need and children who need, yet sometimes the resources don't keep up with the amount of demand. And so one of the things we love to talk about on the show, and we like to emphasize to people, is that this is a two-way street. You talked about the accountability, and that people need to understand that they can go out here and support you all in so many different ways, so you all can expand it. There's no book bag fairy that's up here. You all go out here, you come up with your resources, you go out here and legitimately purchase these book bags, and you give them away at no cost, no judgment or anything like that. But it does, you know, you do have to make the sausage. There's a way that it works. And so I always like to let people know, or at least help people inform of how they can participate. How can they support what you do? Go ahead, Pastor Bibbs, if you don't mind.
We're open to anyone who wants to support. Our address is 1920 East Columbus Drive. If they want to drop off an offering or something for us, we would gladly appreciate it. Like Apostle said, I started last year.
Yeah.
Because it takes time.
It does.
It takes time. And when you're talking to different companies and different grant providers, they have timelines. And you have to meet those timelines, submit the grant. Everything has to be in order. And so I like to start a month after
You
Wow
finished,
Fest
yeah.
to start for next year.
Now let me ask you both this, because, and I'm not trying to single you out and or anything like that, but I work with a lot of organizations, and this has always been my critique about Northwest Indiana, but not just Northwest Indiana, really across our country as it relates to nonprofits. And it's not the work that nonprofits do. It's just a lot of times you will see a group or an organization that is out here doing something, and maybe they have reached their limitations, or maybe they need more help, and or maybe somebody has ideas about how to do it differently. Sometimes instead of collaborating, people will go out here and start something right opposite, and now all of a sudden, whether intentional or not, you're competing against each other. Before you know it, you've got a saturation of all these groups competing for a small population. The one thing that I want to give you all credit for is that, you know, I do hear about what goes on over there, and I hear about you. It seems that in East Chicago, at least, you all are very well organized. I mean, I know there are a lot of organizations, churches, nonprofits. United Way reaches over into there, but somehow you all coordinate very well. You get what I mean? People come over and say, you know what, I want to help out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily, you know, you can put my name on the flyer if you want to, but I want to help because I want this thing to work. So if you don't mind, speak to that. How have you been so good about partnering with people?
Well, one of the things that we always believe in is that people stay where they're honored. A husband comes home where he's celebrated.
Would you repeat that, please?
People, and if you look on all of our data, and I believe Chelsea can even say this in our press releases, nowhere in our press releases do you see our church name. Nowhere on the flyer do you see our church name. Because we believe in a biblical principle that you take away from the power of the miracle when you need to get the credit. And
Now, I really am going to ask you to say that one more time, if you don't mind.
you take away from the power of the miracle when you need to get the credit. Jesus, a lot of times,
Take the energy away.
he would heal and he would say, tell no man.
Right.
Don't tell anybody what I did. Why? Because he understood that the power of the miracle
Speaks
can be
for itself.
diminished when I need to get the credit. And so we don't look for credit. We look for collaboration. We don't look to compete. We look to walk in covenant. And so I believe that's one of the reasons why God has blessed it so, is because we do a great job of pumping up other people.
Yeah.
I love
You
pumping up
do,
other people.
as I said.
Because it when I don't need to get the credit, God can get the glory.
Yes.
And so we're always looking for organizations, big, small, in between, that will partner with us to help us take it to the next level. You said we're organized, but I believe, and they fuss at me all the time, that we will celebrate a benchmark, and in the same celebration, I will say, how can we get better?
Of course.
Because there's always room
For
us
improvement.
to advance. There's
Yes.
always more that we can do. There's always a kid that didn't know about the Wild Fest.
Right.
So what can we do?
Or there was always one kid where we were a book bag short and we didn't have enough. Right? Absolutely.
Exactly. And if we can rid the region of this competitive spirit that believes, I believe this, I truly believe this, that we can do more together than we can apart.
Yeah.
That we don't have to have 50 million back to school rallies.
Yeah.
That we can have one huge one that will
A
leave an
giant one.
an unprecedented impact on kids' lives that they'll never forget. I'm a kid walking out of a restaurant the other day and I said, how you doing, young man? He said, you don't remember me, do you? I said, no. He's like, I got book bags from you every year at the
Yeah.
Wild Fest. You never know the profound impact that you're making on kids' lives, on moms and dads, and on families. We have repeat families that have been coming for 18 years.
Yeah.
From the inception of our fest, because they know the heart of it is to help people.
In 18 years, they probably have kids that have aged out, but they
Yeah.
want to be a part of it. And they appreciate what you all are doing.
So can we talk a little bit about what
Yeah.
all is going to happen?
Quickly, I want to get to the logistics. Go ahead. Yeah.
So the baby I want to talk about is, which I love.
Go
is,
ahead.
Because I believe kids want to feel good the first day. I remember when I went to school, I wanted to have a fresh cut
Okay.
first day. So we have a team of barbers
Okay.
that are going to be out there. There's a tent, not a tent, but
A station.
what is that thing called?
Um,
A hut. We'll call it
Yeah,
a hut.
Okay.
And it's got a
Gazebo.
gazebo. It's got it's going.
It's a barber
Yeah,
station.
and they'll be cutting boys' hair.
Yeah.
And again,
Free of charge.
we can cut any kind of hair that's going to be out there. And that's one of the guys is named Pastor Leonard Taylor.
Yeah.
And he has a ministry called Kingdom Cuts. He goes around and cuts
I know who you speak of. Yeah.
homeless people's hair
Yeah.
all over Chicago, Northwest Indiana.
Yeah.
He's also going to be at our church, surprise, on tomorrow, cutting for our food pantry.
Yeah.
So that's honor. Our food pantry people, they come to get their food. We're going to surprise them tomorrow.
With
You need a
haircuts.
free haircut? We got you. He's going to cut hair until we run out. We're also going to be braiding girls' hair. So you can get your hair braided. They just got to
Now,
make
that's
sure
a couple of
that
hours.
they come. Well, we got enough of them.
Okay.
We got big mamas.
Yeah.
We got single balls. We
Yeah.
got all kinds. They're gonna braid their hair up so their hair is tight. So we got the barrettes, all of that stuff. So they can get their hair braided. They just got to make sure when they come, the hair is washed.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn the rest over to
Yeah,
Pastor
go
Bill.
ahead, Pastor Bibbs. Go ahead.
we also have
Yeah.
a video game truck. Kids love video games.
I know the video
I
game
love
truck.
video
I've used that
games.
truck.
I
Yeah.
might be on the truck playing video games.
Oh, really?
for
What
a
you?
few
We'll
minutes.
talk. What do you play?
Okay, Xbox.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the main attraction, we're having Pastor Beverly Crawford as our very special guest.
Nice.
And
nice.
we're excited about that. And we have other local talent from Chicago and Northwest Indiana that will be blessing the stage. So we're really excited.
Tell me about the
this.
gospel concert, because that's always a hallmark of what
Yes.
you all do. Please give me that real
All
quick.
day long.
Real
Local.
quick.
We it's a good mixture of local gospel artists along with our national. I think Beverly Crawford is Grammy Award nominated.
We have a Stellar Award
A
winner.
Stellar
You
Award
always
winners.
get some award-winning
Yeah.
people who are coming through.
And we've brought some great gospel
Yeah.
people. We've had Byron
J.J.
K,
Harrison.
J.J. Harrison.
Who'd you
Rashawn
have
Mitchell.
last year? Last year you had somebody who was pretty well decorated. I
Oh my
forget.
goodness.
Oh,
I don't-
man.
Because you were
New York.
ginned up when you were here talking.
James
Hall.
Hall.
James
Yeah,
Hall.
yeah.
We've had Donald Lawrence.
Yeah.
We've had
Richard Smallwood.
Richard
Oh,
Smallwood.
okay. So you got
And
like
matter of fact, when we had Richard Smallwood and Byron Cage.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at
Same
you.
year. So that morning, we learned a lot. Again, the fest teaches a lot. we learned that we cannot have church on the same day as the fest.
No, it's not gonna
So we actually shut our service down and we go fellowship with another church locally every year, the day of the fest, so that our people aren't encumbering that big transition after church. So this year we're going over the new mission of Jesus Christ, Pastor Willie Johnson
Yeah.
and Lisa Johnson, and we're going to worship with them that morning. Then we'll get out of church and go straight over to the park and go to work.
I like
and we'll
it.
be working there till dusk.
Well, give me the logistics, because you a lot
You'll
of
register when you come in.
Yeah, let us know. Okay, so once again, give me the time and the date of the backpack giveaway, and as you talked about the
It's
registration.
at the East Chicago Lakefront.
Yes.
George Park.
The
in
marina?
East Chicago, the marina.
Yeah.
Just go to the casino and go in the back.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parking. We got food. We got vendors. We have games for the kids. We have tons of stuff all day. You got the full beach over there.
Yeah.
You can make it a whole day with your family. It's on Sunday,
July 27th.
July
27th.
27th.
Next
starting at 2
Sunday.
p.m.
starting at 2 p.m. until dusk.
Oh.
So there's so much going on out at that park that day.
Yeah.
There's a plenitude of services that are going on. We have a health tent. You can get your immunizations.
Yeah. Back
all
to school
kinds-
shots.
Everything you
Yeah.
need will be there at that park on that day. We'll have school city officials.
Oh.
There'll be teachers there. There'll be churches there, pastors there,
Some community representatives.
politicians
Yeah.
there, community people there. So it's going to be an all-day event, a great time for you and your family to enjoy out on that wonderful lakefront beach. They're going to have it cleaned up real nice.
It's already clean.
It's
Is
going to
it?
be,
Will there be
it's going to look
awards?
beautiful. There's going to be awards for community leaders, and we're going to pray over all those that are there at the park on that day. Again, it's going to be an all-day affair outside Gospel Fest,
Yeah.
free to the community and anybody in the region, Chicagoland,
All right.
Northwest Indiana. We need you to come out there and blow that thing up. We a lot of times they're on the top of the parking garage, watching our fest. People are coming from the casino
Yeah.
to come see what is going on, and it's a great attraction and it's a great representation of the faith community. So get out there on Sunday, July 27th.
Yeah.
We need to see your face. Come find me, Pastor K, and let me put my arms around your neck, hug you, love on you, and enjoy yourself out there at the park on that day.
All
Did we
right,
touch
well,
on everything, Pastor?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
And first of all, I want to say thank you to both of you for dropping by. Last thing I want to ask either one, I'll go to the ladies first. I want to test her knowledge, but no, I want give me the logistics of your church. I mean, you know, in addition to this wonderful event, once again, July 27th. Excuse me, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, starting at 2:00, going until dusk. It is free to the public. Go get your kids the equipment and the tools that they need. Come out there, fellowship. There's going to be food, fun, entertainment, people that you can meet, awards being given away. It's going to be a great representation of the beautiful community of East Chicago. Let's go hang out with our neighbors. Go ahead and tell me about your wonderful church. Give me the logistics on that. Because people hear your voice, they might want to come fellowship with you like Miss Bibbs did.
Oh, our church is located at 1920 East Columbus Drive in the beautiful city of East Chicago,
Yes.
Indiana. And our service starts every Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
All right.
Yes, and we're a family ministry. Well, we have a lot of youth in our church. We believe in pouring in our youth.
Yeah.
We don't believe that they're our next. We believe they're our now. And so we're equipping them to do everything so that
I like it.
they
He's a
have.
very good, quick with his wit. I like that.
Quick way to-
And so we my mom always used to tell me, you know, you're so good. You just think on your feet. But you know, we're family oriented.
Yeah.
We point everybody to Jesus. We're an apostolic ministry.
Oh,
we
yeah.
believe in just
Bible-based.
We believe that word works in everything. So
Yeah.
we don't want you to just be a good church member. We want you to be successful in life. And
You know, when you say that and you look at me, I believe it.
Yeah.
You want the best for me, don't you?
I want you to win in every
I know. I
area
like
of life.
it, man. I'm
And
sitting
so
over here getting goosebumps. I'm
I-
like, he believes that.
we believe that those principles that God gave us not only are work in church, they work in life. They'll teach a husband how to love his wife, a wife how to love their husband, parents how to love their children, and children how to love their parents.
All right.
And so we want you to be successful. Come check us out. We also have an iChurch.
Okay.
If you don't live in the area, we have a growing iChurch. I'm super proud of. I teach them every week. They have their own place in the church. So I believe that's where church is going and where it's headed. And we gotta be open and willing to receive.
Well, I appreciate both of you. I will constantly remind folks, because it is back to school time, we want to make sure that every child in the region has all the tools and equipment they need to get a fast start and jump out into this race and lead all the way to the end. So I want to thank you too. What you're doing is literally God's
Thank you.
work.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, no problem. Absolutely.
We got a disease.
What's that?
We just love helping people.
Look, and you know what? He is so amazing. I mean, I gotta get out of here before he sucks me in. I'll be doing another hour. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take a break.